Hello everyone and welcome to your second royal reading today here at MadWorldTarot. Still with the Rebel Hearts Tarot in this reading, and also still looking at the situation. The dinner party hosted by Harry and Meghan in Montecito, and invitees were Brooklyn Beckham and his wife Nicola Pelt. I'm going to look now at how the Beckhams feel about this, because once upon a time David and Victoria Beckham were very close to Harry and Meghan. David was loyally supporting the Invictus Games, and Victoria was helping Meghan find her feet in London society, opening her little black book of contacts, stylists and things like that, and also giving her outfits to wear. That all ended when Meghan Markle accused Victoria Beckham of leaking stories about her to the press, and it ended in a very sour way. No speaks. There have been no speaks for a long time. Interestingly, in the midst of this Beckham family feud over the 50th birthday party and the non-appearance of Brooklyn and his wife Nicola, the Princess of Wales showed up at a British fashion industry event a few days ago wearing a Victoria Beckham outfit, a pantsuit, olive green pantsuit, looking sensational, very difficult colour to wear. She pulled it off, the Princess of Wales, very clearly, according to Richard Eden, indicating support for the Beckhams in this very difficult situation that they are in with their son Brooklyn. So we're going to have a quick look now how the Beckhams feel about news of this dinner party, that their estranged son and his seemingly very toxic wife were invited by Harry and Meghan to dinner. And what message was Meghan sending through possibly making this public? Is my belief that the leak came from someone Meghan adjacent or Montecito adjacent. I want to know just about the Princess of Wales and her feelings about the situation, her support from the Beckhams, for the Beckhams. And I want to know, finally, a little 5-card reading. I want to know how the situation is going to end for David and Victoria Beckham. Are they going to find some way to reconcile with Brooklyn? Or is it over, like it seems to be over for the royals with Harry as a result of his very, in my opinion, one more shuffle, toxic relationship with his wife, Meghan Markle. We do need to remind you that this is just tarot. It's for fun and entertainment. It is all my opinion. It is all speculation. I just read energy here, and there is, of course, a disclaimer in the box below. Strange story, this. Strange to see such a similar energy showing up in another very famous family. Very strange, in my opinion. There we go. Ace of Wands as our underlying energy. This is kind of, I almost want to say clapback energy in that Ace of Wands, because it's very forceful. The Ace of Wands is new, and it's dramatic and dynamic and invigorated and attention-seeking. It's creative. It's passionate. It's making itself known. The Ace of Wands. Look over here. This is where it's all happening. This is the new state of affairs. It was like that dinner party announcement was a declaration of intent. Aces are very often declarations of love, with the Ace of Cups, for instance. But this is, for me, a declaration of a new kind of dispensation. And this is where all the power rests, and this is where the new energy rests, and it's in Montecito. It's not over there in boring old Blighty. That's how this Ace of Wands is speaking to me energetically as the underlying energy. So let's have a look at the actual situation we're dealing with the Beckhams. There we got the Devil. There's the Devil is toxic relationships. Primarily, it is about materialism and addiction and obsession and dishonesty and rage and viciousness and all of those things. But it is mostly about a relationship where two people are bound together by their own demons, basically, and you find a partner that really reflects that level of negativity and toxicity. People chained together by their own flaws, weaknesses, viciousness, whatever. So there we have it. That is the devil energy. And we have barking. I'm just going to plow on and hope the barking stops. And I want to know how the Beckhams feel about this dinner party announcement. How did they feel? Because it seems really like it was calculated, it was intended to hurt. We're going to move to that energy next, but I want to know how they felt about reading about this. We got the Three of Cups in reverse. It's a friendship card, the Three of Cups. It's celebrating, it's hanging out with people you enjoy, people you trust, people you feel very comfortable with. It's in reverse, being let down by friends. Hurt by the fact that their son and his wife would rather hang out with people who are no longer friends, who have betrayed them, than actually show up at their own celebrations, the birthday party, the never-ending events that seemed necessary to celebrate David Beckham's 50th birthday. Disappointed, hurt by friends, former friends, who kind of rubbed salt in the wound, really. So I want to know, I think it's quite an obvious energy there, so we don't need to dwell on it. More interesting maybe is what Meghan's intentions were by, in my opinion, making this dinner party known. I have said this before, I don't believe that the leak of this dinner party came from Brooklyn and his wife. I personally believe it came from Montecito directly, but that's my opinion. What were her intentions by hosting these two at a dinner party? What is she saying to the Beckhams? Nine of Pentacles, I don't need you. Don't need you. I think it must have been really galling for Meghan Markle when she showed up as a new member of the royal family, and she portrayed herself as a very successful actress, you know, that starring role in Suits. No, it wasn't a starring role at all. She had no money. She was being written out of the series by all accounts, but she had to represent herself as very successful, very wealthy, independent, humanitarian. She'd addressed the United Nations. She'd done all these marvelous things, but actually it was all a bit bogus, as we subsequently learned. I think Tom Bauer wrote extensively about it in his book, for instance, and was not sued or challenged on what he wrote. So she's now making a point, Meghan Markle, of I am truly independent. I don't need you. I don't need your little black book of contacts. I don't need your clothes, your raggedy clothes. I've got my own raggedy clothes to wear. And look how I wear them, all crumpled and too long and too wide and too beige. I don't need you. Nine of Pentacles. I'm independent. I'm going to be a billionaire in my own right. See how I do it. Very arrogant, that energy that's coming through there. I think she really hated the fact that someone like Victoria Beckham was reaching out to help her. I think she felt humiliated by it. That's how it's reading for me. And the wheels start to click when I get a hit like that energetically, and this whole thing starts to make some kind of weird sense. Not for me in my own world and how I would be, but possibly if you are, as people say, Meghan is somewhat narcissistic, it might be quite hard to swallow having Victoria Beckham come along to show you the ropes as a new royal, and other people in the royals as well. I don't think Meghan liked it one bit. How about the Princess of Wales wearing that outfit, that olive green outfit, to the British fashion industry event in the past few days? What's her message, her feelings about this? We've got the Page of Wands, and it's in reverse. Page of Wands is messaging, and it's a very positive message when it's upright. It's PR, it's enthusiasm, it's adventure. It's in reverse. I think that's the subtle messaging that was going out. That's why it's in reverse. she can't say, she can't have an interview, she can't sit down with the BBC, for instance, and just let rip like Harry has done recently. But she can, through these subtle messages, express an opinion or express support for David and Victoria Beckham. And that's why I think the Page of Wands is in reverse. Subtle energy, my opinion. How's it going to go for the Beckhams, for their relationship with their eldest son? Are they going to reconcile, or is this going to end up in tears like the Harry saga seems to be ending up for the royals and for Harry? How's it going to go? Oh dear, Four of Swords. Not going to go well. Not in current energy, current timeline anyway. He's very young. He's what, 26? Young and stupid by all accounts. A bit gormless. I think he's more gormless than Harry. I think Harry's harboured a lot of rage and resentment over many years. I don't think Brooklyn has. But that's a card of retreating, hiding, licking your wounds, being kind of finished at some level, that you have to disappear. I think that's his energy. I think it's Brooklyn's energy. I think, my personal opinion, that this marriage is going to end in tears, and he is going to have to withdraw from the public for a considerable time to let these wounds heal, these family wounds heal. It is a card of healing, the Four of Swords, when it's upright, but it takes time, and it takes awareness, and it takes humility, I would say, and it takes time out of the public gaze to do this kind of work and to fix this mess. So I think there might be some healing, but I think it's going to take a long time. I think it's going to take a lot of reflection on his part and owning up to what he's done wrong. And I think it's going to be very difficult for him. It's very difficult for them right now, Victoria and David Beckham. But I think it's going to be really, really difficult and even humiliating and chastening for him when this whole, when this ship goes down. Basically, that was a polite way of saying what I wanted to say. Anyway, there it is. I definitely a message going out to the Beckons with this Ace of Wands and this Nine of Pentacles from Meghan. I have all the power. I don't need you. This is a boy in trouble. He's going to be in trouble. The Beckons, Beckhams, very hurt, feeling very betrayed. Support from the Princess of Wales, subtle support. The devil, the toxic relationship, which is going to lead, in my opinion, for Brooklyn to that Four of Swords at some stage. That's the reading. Thanks for watching. I'll see you again tomorrow.